And now, what sort of weather can we expect this morning? Here with the news from the weather studio is your favourite and his, Richard Edgar.
Keep going, David. Thank you very much. And first of all, let's say good morning to all the mothers across the nation. Mothering Sunday, thank you very much to you all. We start the day with a bit of a problem in this clear gap in between two bands of cloud. In that area overnight, we've seen mist and fog forming, fairly dense fog in many places, bringing us a warning to start this morning with some pretty dense fog. Visibility is less than 50 metres across many of those counties in central, southern and southeastern England.
What's that? That was a bit weird in itself, wasn't it?
Would you mind coming outside?
As predicted earlier.
It's absolutely freezing outside here.
Oh, right. Well, I'll stay inside, but Anne
I didn't know you were delivering the milk.
Oh, yes, I was passing and I picked the milk.
No, put it back down on the doorstep,
Bit of a problem with the milk here, Anne. Bit of a problem. Nearly fell off the step there. Come on out. Bit of a problem with the old milk because I think this milk's a bit off, and that's
that's one way of telling weather.
Talking about the wacky weather.
Maybe
it may be a sign of thunderstorms because the weather's hot and sultry, so the milk goes off.
That is generally true, is it? So you get your milk one
morning. It's generally true. It might be true.
Depends how long you leave your milk outside.
It's nice to know how you do predict the weather.
Let's talk about our furry friend here, because now a lot of people have pets, animals, cats and dogs, and in fact if you recognise the weather signs and you recognise the things the animals are doing, for example, our poor little pussy here is not very lively today.
No,
if his whiskers are sloping away, it may be an indication that rainfall's on the way because the air's getting more moist. My wife has the same problem.
So if cats get a bit lethargic?
A bit lethargic, or perhaps just limp whiskers.
Limp whiskers?
Limp whiskers. Yeah. It may be an indication that rain's on the way.
Gosh.
Oh, right.
Let's go over here, because we've got our friend Ben. Let me
Hello, Ben.
Now, Ben, a nice dog. He has something in common with you, Nick.
Does he suffer from limp whiskers?
Oh, limp whiskers, and he likes playing football by himself.
Yeah.
So he's a lovely dog. Again, cats and dogs may get excited by electrical activity, which may indicate thunderstorms coming along or rainfall on the way. But Ben's been a very good boy today.
Yeah, thank goodness for that.
Indeed. Right. Now let's walk over here because we've got a couple of friends here.
This man's a serious
I have to say, when I first saw this, I thought this was the finals of the Will Hanrahan Lookalike competition.
Yes,
they've got wonderful faces.
They are beautiful, aren't they?
This is Grace and Lightning. I'm not sure which is which, but again...
Are we allowed to stroke them?
We can stroke, yes, we can stroke them. I think they're quite safe.
Now, how can they help you tell the weather?
I was brought up on farms, and a lot of animals, again, get excited by the weather. Thunderstorms, thundery activity, you know, the cows turning around in the field when the wind's picking up, quite often an indication of rainfall on the way. These two are just too busy eating at the moment to be bothered about the weather, so they're not going to tell us much there. But quite often pigs running around in the straw may be indication of some windy weather on the way.
Windy weather.
Windy and changing.
Pigs running around in straw, windy weather.
Top Met Office forecaster Richard Edgar should be able to fill in some of the gaps. So, Richard, hello. How far back do weather records go?
Well, the actual official records go back to about 1854. That's when the Met Office started. But we can actually go back a lot further than that, to about 1659.
But how can we tell if the records only go back to 1854?
We've got fine examples like these diaries here. These were kept by amateur scientists. This one is from 1780. It's from Rutland Hall, and that was kept by Thomas Barker. And this one over here, a wonderful gentleman. His name is Orlando Whistlecraft.
Good name.
And he actually kept weather records from 9 years old till the age of 81. And it's those sort of things that have given us the information for the records.
OK, but looking at records like this, which only really cover local areas, how do we get a complete picture of the whole country?
Well, there was a gentleman called Professor Gordon Manlin. He took all the information from these sort of diaries and from other areas. He pieced them all together, a little jigsaw, and filled in the gaps and gave us those continuous records back to 1659.
But how do these amateurs actually measure the weather?
Yes, and they measure the weather as well. Come on over here, I'll show you. Look, we've got some early examples of weather instruments here. This is the first one. This is a rain gauge, and then this is a sunshine recorder where the sun actually burns through the glass ball onto the wooden surround. And over here we've got one of the very early Met Office actual barometers. This one's actually even got Admiral Fitzroy's name on, and he was the first boss of the Met Office back in 1854.
What about this?
This is my favourite, as you know.
What's it called?
This is the Linz anemometer. Yes,
oh, you got it right. I'm very impressed.
This is basically measuring the wind strength, and the wind would blow in through the tubes. In here we'd have water, and the difference between the level of water would help us to calibrate the wind strength. And one like this was actually taken to the Pacific by Captain James Cook in the latter part of the 18th century, I should say.
Well, it's all very impressive. I'll try and find out what calibrate means later on. But tell me about weather records, because I know there's a little chap over there who's dying to find out.
He is, isn't he?
Let's go over now to a man who definitely has no problems, Richard Edgar.
Yes, he did.
Oh, he does. Good heavens.
My goodness, yes, there's quite a change. I don't think that'll ever happen to me, and I shall talk to the director about that naughty little chap he is. Yes, virility keeps the thatch brooming and grooming all the time.